Hi, I'm Jeffrey. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the ABC model in order to learn how to better manage our feelings. Disclaimer, this video is strictly intended for educational purposes and it should not be used as a replacement for therapy. For therapy services, please seek out the help of a licensed mental health provider. So you might be wondering, what is the ABC method? The ABC method is a method that was developed by Dr. Albert Ellis and is used in rational emotive behavioral therapy and in cognitive behavioral therapy in order to be able to help people better manage their feelings. The ABC method goes like this. A stands for activating event. This is a situation that has happened, is happening, or may happen. B stands for the belief about the event. This means how we interpret and what we tell ourselves about what happened, is happening, or may happen. C stands for consequence. And the consequence can either be emotional or behavioral. Then there is the formula, A plus B equals C. So it is the activating event plus our interpretation and self-talk about the activating event that produces the emotional and behavioral consequences. Let me give a few examples. For this example, we're going to have person 1 and person 2. In each example, we're going to identify A and C, and then we're going to try to figure out what is happening at B. So we're going to start off with person 1. A, the activating event will be that they're going to a high school reunion. Their C is that they're experiencing anxiety at 80%. It is important to note that when identifying your C, you do so in terms of a percentage. For example, person 1 is feeling anxiety at 80%. So remember that the formula is A plus B equals C. So what do you think is happening at B that is producing the anxiety to be at 80%? To take an educated guess, I will say that this person might be telling themselves something like, everyone will laugh at me, I have nothing important to say, nobody's going to want to hang out with me, I haven't accomplished anything since graduating high school, and I will look very awkward. Then we can see that the combination of A, going to the reunion, plus B, what this person is telling themselves about going to the reunion, is producing C, that anxiety of 80%. Now let's do person 2. Let's say that their A is the same as person 1. Person 2 is also going to a high school reunion. However, their C is different. Instead of feeling anxious at 80%, they are excited at 80%. Why could this be? Well, let's analyze B. Remember that the formula is A plus B equals C. So what could this person be telling themselves about A that is producing this excitement? To take an educated guess, I would say, I can't wait to see everyone. I look forward to sharing a few stories with friends, and I'm curious to see what everyone is up to. So person 2 is experiencing excitement because of what they told themselves about going to the high school reunion. And person 1 is experiencing anxiety because of what they told themselves about going to that high school reunion. So person 1 and person 2 have the exact same A, but have a completely different C. And this is because of what is happening at B. It is worth noting that B can be operating at both a conscious and unconscious level. B can be strongly influenced by our genetics and previous life experiences. Also worth mentioning is that many times in life, A is out of our control. However, B is much more in our control. So that's why in therapy, we work at modifying B as opposed to trying to modify A. When we think about it, it is much easier to modify what we're telling ourselves about something than to change the entire situation. The previous example was to illustrate the importance of B at influencing C. However, it would not be realistic to expect person 1 to go from feeling anxious at 80% to feeling excited at 80%. Instead, it is important to set realistic goals that one can achieve. So many times we're not trying to change the entire emotion. All we're trying to do is decrease the intensity of that emotion. So to go back to person 1, what we would be trying to do is to decrease their anxiety from 80% to something like 60%. So let's go back to the formula and see if we can change B for person number 1. A will stay the same. They will be going to a high school reunion. C is now anxious at 60%. So what did they tell themselves at B to reduce that anxiety from 80% to 60%? Maybe something along the lines of, it's okay to be anxious about this reunion. I'm not really looking forward to it, but it won't last forever and it's not the end of the world. With this type of self-talk, we're able to reduce the intensity of the anxiety from 80% to 60%. What is also worth pointing out is that B needs to be believable to us. So if we tell ourselves something that is overly positive, overly optimistic, but it's not believable, then it's not going to make any effect and we're simply going to go back to our initial belief, therefore resulting in no change at C. Notice that the shift in thinking is subtle, but it's enough to reduce the intensity of the emotion. Many times what we feel is valid, but the intensity of that feeling might be too much. So all we're trying to do is to tone down the intensity of that emotion. Another thing that is worth mentioning is that when we find our new belief, the one that is healthier, we might need to tell ourselves that plenty of times in order to override that initial belief. So in order to ingrain a new B, we might need to tell ourselves that several times before we start to truly believe that. After practicing this with a few events throughout the week, you can get much better at being able to regulate and manage your feelings, because now you will be in control of your feelings instead of your feelings being in control of you. So to summarize today's video, A, the activating event, plus B, the belief about the event, causes C, the consequence. And that could be emotional or behavioral. In order to change the consequence and to be able to regulate our feelings, it is important that we make a change at B. Thank you for watching today's video. Please feel free to comment down below your thoughts on the ABC method. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And for more content like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next one.